because I need to look over at this correct page. Pyrrhus of Epirus and Gaius Fabricius. So, the Romans, superati proilio, having been conquered in battle by Pyrrhus, the king of Epirus, superati, passive participle, legatos, sent legatos, ambassadors to Tarento. So again, they miserent, sent ambassadors to Tarento, ad eum, to to exchange captives. Literally, they sent ambassadors to Tarento to exchange for the exchanging of captives. So again, the Romans, having been conquered by Pyrrhus, the king of Epirus, sent ambassadors to Tarento, to Tarentum rather than Tarentum, to Tarentum, about literally for the exchanging of captives there. Ad eum, for the exchanging, literally for captives being exchanged. It's a gerundive because it is passive, agreeing with it redimendis. When you see the ending, when you see a gerund or a gerundive agreeing what you think is a gerund or a gerundive, redimendis, agreeing with another word, which is here captivis, then you can see that it is going to be a gerundive because gerunds don't agree with another word in the sentence. Inter. Among the Roman ambassadors was Caius Fabricius, virbonus, a good man and outstanding in war, but completely poor, sed ad modum pauper, but very poor. Pyrrhus, who was wanting to make peace with the Romans, obtulit, offered great gifts, magna dona legatis to the ambassadors, if they would persuade the Romans of peace, if they would persuade peace to the Romans. I suppose here it's almost more like a purpose clause. See there. Quamquam. Although these gifts, spreta sunt, perfect passive, were rejected, the king, however, is said to have sent the captives to Rome sine pretio, without a, what do we want to say, without value. The king, however, is said to have sent the captives to Rome without value, without price. Next bit. Pyrrhus, admiring de virtutem, the virtue of Fabricius, obtulit, offered to that man in secret, quartam, a quarter of his kingdom, a fourth part of his kingdom, if he would desert his fatherland and come to viveret, and live with him. To which Fabricius responded in this way: if you judge me virum bonum, a good man, why do you want to corrupt me? But if, on the other hand, you judge me a bad man, if indeed a bad man, why do you want my friendship? Good afternoon, everyone. This is passage 20 from the Ab Urbe. Pyrrhus of Epirus and Gaius Fabricius. This is Pyrrhus, where we get the phrase Pyrrhic victory from. And I'm just going to have to stop. Anno interjecto. With a year intervening, after a year passed, ablative absolute there, so after a year went by, with all hope of peace being conciliande, being arranged, again gerundive because it is agreeing with the pakis, with all hope of peace being arranged between Pyrrhus and the Romans, lost, ablata, lost, Fabricius, perfect passive participle, having been made a consul, was sent against him. And when he himself and the king had neighbouring camps, a doctor of the king at night came to Fabricius, and Policitus est, and promised him, if he offered a reward, sibi, to him, i.e. the doctor, that say that he would kill Pyrrhus, indirect statement here with a future participle, that he would kill Pyrrhus with poison. Hunc Fabricius, sorry, I'm just getting rid of some of my scroll. Hunc Fabricius, this man, Fabricius sent back this man, bound to Pyrrhus, and informed him what, indirect question, and informed him what the doctor had promised. Tum rex, then the king, having admired him, is said, fertur, is said to have spoken, is said to have said, is thought to have said, however you want to phrase that. Ile, that is Fabricius, who, I like this next sentence, who is able to be moved with greater difficulty from honesty than the sun is able to be moved from its course. So that is Fabricius, who it is more difficult to be moved away from honesty than for the sun it is to be moved away from the ellipsis there, I suppose, from its own course. Not really ellipsis, actually, sorry. From its own course. Fabricius, cum legatus. Fabricius, when he was commander, when he had been commander at the home of the king Pyrrhus, contulit, had a conversation with Cinea, the ambassador of Pyrrhus. This man said that a certain philosopher was in Athens, indirect statement, who was saying that all the things which we do can referenda, gerundive, can be brought back to desire, can be thought of as being desire. He said all the things are referenda, agreeing with the omnia, which means it's going to be a gerundive, who said that all of the things which we do can be thought of, can be related to desire. Then they say that Fabricius, in direct statement, exclaimed, that's an alternative form here of exclamavisse, an alternative form of the perfect infinitive. Would, optative here, would that we would persuade that to our enemies, so that they may be able to be conquered more easily, cum, when they have given themselves over to desire. Temporal clause there, rare temporal with a perfect subjunctive. So optative, persuademus, and then temporal. Nihil, nothing was more foreign from the life of that man than voluptas et luxus, than decadence and luxury. Nothing was further from the life of that man than decadence, voluptas, and luxury. Again, we've talked a little bit about Aeneas, we talked a little bit about the East and West sort of idea, and again, look at this idea of how the Romans believed in sort of humble lives and the corruptive notions of things being controlled by luxuries. They were terrified of this. Tota, eos, all the superlex, all of his silver furniture, is, and then we've got this bit, it sounds sort of slightly strange, consisted out of. So, tota, all the silver furniture of that man consisted of one salt shaker and a patella and a dish for sacred rites, which was sustenebato, which was kept on a corneo peducolo, which was kept by a, and what did we want to say for that, for corneo? Wooden, and then peducolo, a little wooden foot. I have no idea what that means. I will ask you if you know what that means. Kenabat. He was dining at the fireplace on radices et herbas, on roots and herbas and plants, when ambassadors of the Samnites came to him and offered a great amount of money to him, to which he responded thus: Quam Dio, as long as I am able to control my cupiditatibus, my desires, nihil, nothing will deerit, nothing will be lacking in me. So I will lack nothing. As long as I'm able to control my desires, there will be nothing lacking for me. However, you give your, imperative there, give your money to those who want it. Fabricius exegit lived out his whole life in glorious poverty. And he decessit, and he died poor, literally without wealth, adeo, to such an extent that, result clause, that he did not leave anything from where a dowry could be given, that he left nowhere from where a dowry, from where the dowry of his daughters could be given. Dowry, where you pay the money to the person marrying your daughter. Senatus. The Senate took on, sumsit, the role of father for him, and datis dotibus, having given a dowry from the city treasury, collocavit, they set up his daughters. They arranged things for his daughters. Very well done, everyone. I'll see you all next lesson.